Yeah. Would the SNP be prepared to compromise on an independence referendum and join a coalition with another party to stop the Conservatives from winning?
Just to be clear, when you say compromise, what exactly do you mean?
Well, put it on the back burner for the time being.
First Minister.
I've set out my position on an independence referendum, but I certainly would want to be part of an alliance, a more progressive alliance, if the arithmetic allowed it, that would keep the Conservatives out of power. Part of an alliance that would invest in public services and end the cuts to the support for the most vulnerable in our society.
But if they said they could only work with you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's the question. They could only work with you if you said no to a referendum, not forever, but maybe for the period of a parliament, for 5 years.
Well, look, I think at the end of the Brexit process, people in Scotland should have a choice, and I've already set out why I think that's the case.
You happy with the answer?
And you know,
no, what?
I
surely
think you're losing a lot of votes. I think you're losing a lot of votes from SNP supporters by continuing with the independence referendum at this time.
Because, and I'll give the First Minister a chance to reply.
Yeah, because, well, some people just don't want it. They think it's not the right time for it because of everything else that's going on.
I'm not proposing it now. I'm absolutely not proposing it now. I accept that point. But
when are you proposing it?
At the end of the process, when we know what
when is the end of the process?
Of Brexit. Well, I don't know that because I'm not in charge of the process.
No, but you used to be clear about it. You say spring 19, and you're not so clear now.
Theresa May tells us that the deal will be done before the UK exits. Now, if that's the case, that's the end of the process. We know what the deal is. If that's not the case, then clearly that timetable would be longer.
But she talked last weekend of a transitional deal of a year or two. Could it be
she talks about a lot of things
2020,
and isn't always
21,
consistent in what she talks
22.
about. I think trying to keep up with Theresa May's positions in this election has become quite difficult on a whole range of different things. But can I come back to your point about a progressive alliance, to use that terminology? I would want to be part of that if it was possible. But do you know what? I think, looking at the polls, unfortunately the Conservatives are still likely to win this election, but it's no longer inevitable, in my view, that Theresa May gets a bigger majority, and that's a choice for Scotland. Do we vote for MPs that stop Theresa May increasing her majority or not? And I think we should.